Hello everyone, I'm bringing you quite a different video today. I wanted to show you all my Lucy cosplay, and though I'm not totally comfortable with being in front of the camera yet, I'm normally on the other side of it, I would just like to show you what I was working on for the past 2 weeks. Me and my boyfriend went to Anime, Ohio in a convention center in Sharonville with a mutual friend of ours, and he was Natsu and I was Lucy, and it took me about 2 weeks to complete all this. It can probably be done in much less time, but regardless, I'd like to show you all how I did it. First off, here's everything that I got from the convention, including some people if you want to look them up on your social media. It might be back again. So these, I'll put them up here. This is what I got from the Anime Expo. I got 2 stickers, one of this cute little octopus and one of Pidge from Voltron. I got a character from Overwatch, and I got 2 cats as food. This one is Cotton Candy, and this one is an avocado. And then I got 6 other pins from Miraculous Ladybug. As you know, I'm in love with it. And so I have Ladybug, Tiki, and Marinette. And then I have Chat Noir, Flag, and Adrian. And this is all the stuff that I got from the convention today. Woo! There are several smaller things on Lucy's outfit that I'd like to talk about first. First, she has a hair bow, and her hair bow is kind of really hard to do. So I had to just make my own little hair bow, and it just looks like this, and it has a little clip on the back. I actually just finished this yesterday, so the clip actually isn't actually like on it. You just have to, you know, do what you can and hope it holds through the con, you know. So there's that. The second thing I had to make was her wristlet, which is like a little black band that goes around her wrist. The way I did this was I sewed these fabrics side together, and I folded it over, and this side actually just isn't completed. And so the fabric is folded over, and then it's sewed along this line, and then I just rolled this, like curled it in, and like bam. The only other thing is that she has heart-shaped earrings, and this was very hard for me to find. Like, no one I knew had them. I looked at Michael's and Joanne's and just trying to get something that looked similar, but I decided that I was going to have to make them on my own. So I had some earrings that I pulled off the little tab parts of the earring back, not earring backs, but like the part that goes in your ear. And then I hot glued these, I don't know how well you can see that, these little metallic bands, and these hearts are beads. So they have holes in the bottom, and I filled them with hot glue and then stuck the rods through them. And I had one break on me once, so I had to just completely redo it. But they held really good throughout the con, and I was very happy about that. Other than that, there's quite a big part of her outfit that was really daunting, and that's her whip. And so I actually handmade mine, which took quite a bit of time. Here it is. So, I know. I had tied it where it met the clasp, which I'll show you in a second, and it's actually a lot simpler than you would think. So I had this belt material from a Link cosplay that I did, because he has like belts across his chest that like hold his shield and stuff on his back. This little bit of faux leather I had from a Chat Noir cosplay that I did. I don't know if my boyfriend wants me to show pictures of that because he was Ladybug. And so I hand stitched this around a piece of crafter's foam, and then that was that. this is spray painted toilet paper tube that I had to cut and tape to be smaller than they originally were. And this is just more of that belt hot glued around a highlighter that I will never use again. This is just some extra little strands of it swirled around each other. And then this end is just fabric that I hot glued into these. So now the rope of the whip itself is made actually out of what are they called? Wrapped. So I wrapped pipe cleaners. Sorry. So all this is actually just here. You can see it really bad on the opposite side because it didn't seal very well. But it's just that same rope like squeezed around pipe cleaners, and so this can be like bent and it'll like keep its shape. And so that was really good for making circles and having them like stay as circles for the whole cosplay. And so that's how that was made. All these little mistakes you see here is actually because, well, first off, I ran out of leather, so I had to do two sides together, and they did not like that. And second is the fuzzy part was like burning me a lot, and so it was very hard to keep it all cinched together when it was cooling, and so it grew apart, and there was a lot of problems with this guy. And then when I had originally taped, I used masking tape, and I taped the belt material around the pipe cleaners just to make sure I had enough of it. And the tape took off parts of the belt when I would undo it, and so I had to like, oh, backup plan, what to do? And so I just had to flip them inside out, but there was still some damage on the inside of the belts too. So that was certainly something. Real quick before we get into the belt, first off, there were 3 pins holding this belt up and like having it lay directly on the skirt the way I wanted it to. And secondly, we had to draw on our own fairy tale symbols, and I'm right-handed, so it came out a little bad, but it's fine. I really like it. It's a little bigger, but it's not bad. And I drew my boyfriend's on, and I was really nervous to do it, but it ended out pretty good. So our pin count is at 3. Here is the belt. Oh, it is this way, sorry. I had sorry about that. I had my keys on it earlier. However, since they belonged to my boyfriend, I had to give them back after the con was over. No, I was right. It goes this way. Sorry. And okay, so for the clasp of the belt, since this belt, here, I'm going to show someone I never show. It's made of foam, this clasp, and it's just been covered in fabric, in like a, I don't know, like a felty fabric. And so the like clasp couldn't go through both the sides of the fabric because they're quite thick. So I had to just I sewed a button onto the front, and then on the back I made Velcro, so if I needed to unclasp it, I could. This is just the belt. It's just a piece of fabric that I sewed together, and then, well, how do I say this? I hemmed and then sewed together. And the back of the whip looks like, the back of the whip holster looks like this, because I needed to fold it over so it looked right, and then I made it just a tad bit too short, so I had to add a little bit extra fabric, and then I actually glued it directly onto the belt so that it can move, but it can't ever come off the belt. Next we have the skirt and another pin for our tally. The skirt was a little hard to make, first off because I'd only made regular circle skirts before, and this was a pleated skirt, and I'd done it originally to my like lower waist, but I wanted to do it really high-waisted because she wears her skirt quite short, and so I had to add a zipper, which was frightening, and then it still wasn't like able to close far enough, so I had to add a button after that, and that was just a lot. And so it didn't turn out perfect, obviously. the zipper got a little frayed and some stuff happened to it, and I didn't really know how to sew up everything. The the bobbin was white, but my thread is orange, so it turned out to be have a little bit of loose thread, and then it was like really easy to see because it was orange, and so yeah, that was a little hard. But that's the skirt. It got folded. I had folded the fabric over so that it was double the thickness because I thought I would get like, I don't know, I thought the breeze would be too much for it, but I think that kind of threw off the pleats. So as you can see, the pleats, they just disappear halfway through the skirt, which was fine, but not exactly the look that I wanted. Next we have the boots. I wore these boots. There's two belts and then looks like this on the inside, but I think a really good substitute would be these dingo boots. Here's the description about them. I wore size 7, but it was, yeah, I think these ones would work if you can't find these ones. Alright, this shirt is probably the thing I'm most excited to show you because I took so long and I forgot that I put this Lucy pin on myself, so I had bought that as well. Just so everyone knows, the fabric and everything really was bought from Joann's. And even the beads for the heart earrings, they were from Joann's. Everything was from Joann's. So, to make this shirt, I picked up a fabric, and I picked up this pattern. Because I said, oh, look, it has no sleeves, there's a collar, like, that's what I need. It took a lot more modification than I thought it was going to, but it turned out a lot better than my first shirt, like, jacket design went with Chat Noir. Second, this is the spray paint that I used for the cardboard toilet paper rolls part of my whip. Just that's touch and tone all purpose. So there's that. So here's the shirt. Looks pretty good, I know, it's not. So I had quite a bit of trouble with getting the bottom of the sleeve holes to line up and to sew properly, so I just left them empty, thinking, well, no one's gonna see them, you know. This is all this ribbon is hot glued except this middle part here. And so here is, I did this like yesterday. Here is all this ribbon's been hot glued, which is really easy, but it can make ripples, like bumps in the ribbons. And so that's the only thing I really did not like about this. The other thing I really did not like is that the two necklines here are really different. And so I made this one first and then I did this one second, and I really like the way this one turned out with like the smoothness better than this one because it kind of just stops and then goes again. And so I really didn't like that. I think it makes it look a lot more asymmetrical than it really is. And so the way I did this collar was I sewed it on the outside and then would flip it over. I'm not sure how it would work if you sewed them like the other, like on the inside. I just don't know, and I was too scared to try. So this was originally hot glued on the sides here as well and in the middle of the back. However, as soon as I took it off to show you guys, it the hot glue came off, which is surprising, but I used very little because I was actually wearing it at the time that I hot glued, and that would hurt a lot, so I was very careful. But it held for as long as it needed to, so I'm fine with it falling off now. You can see like where the hot glue was. Anything else? Alright, so this zipper was a lot longer than it needed to be, so it doesn't have an end anymore. And that makes it really hard when the zipper pops off, so I can't unzip it all the way, which sucks. Here's the inside. It's pretty uneventful. I sewed the ribbon and the zipper together to the fabric, and then used like the wrong side, this is hard for me, I don't know a lot of words, to lay the ribbon. And so there's that on both sides. You can see there's quite a lot of excess fabric, like all over, everywhere. It's quite sloppy. But that's alright. So I had to shrink the design quite a bit because I'd cut it for the largest design and then just like trimmed it by hand when I put it on, and that isn't the way to go. You should actually measure yourself and do stuff like that, but that kind of stuff just like bothers me, so I don't like to do that. Anything else about the shirt? I mean, this whole outfit took me about 2 weeks to do. I have a diary of what got done what day, but basically it's the 21st and I started the 7th, so that's how long it took me. Well, it's a little less than 2 weeks. So, but there's that. So there's the tour of my outfit for Lucy Heartfilia. I hope you guys really liked it. If you have any questions about anything, you can always ask me in the comments. Like I said, I made every part of this outfit, minus the keys, and minus the boots and socks, just to be sure. So no undergarments were made, no like shoes were made, and I didn't make the keys either. Like I'm not, I can't do that. And so I showed you all what I know. If you want me to make anything again, I should have recorded it the first time, but I could show you that if that's something that you're interested in. I hope this helps you a lot with your Lucy cosplay. If you want me to make another video about something like this with my Chat Noir cosplay, or I'm doing another one in September for a Cincinnati con that we're going to, and I think I'm going to be someone from Dragon Ball Z. Haven't decided who yet, but that will be really interesting since Sean Schemmel is going to be there. Me and my boyfriend are going to meet him, and so we want to do something up his alley. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. At the end, there will be pictures of us at the Comic-Con, so you can see what we look like and all the pictures that we took, and it was really fun. Thank you for watching.